Hello, my name is Maya Katsnirson and I'm the founder and curator of the Belarusian Jewish Cultural Heritage Center. And I'm glad to introduce my colleague, Grigory Heifetz, curator of the digital exhibition.
Hello, everyone.
Let me start with a question. What do you do when there is a critical need for a museum, yet no way to build it physically? When there is no comprehensive collection and practically no access to the objects and artifacts? What if this heritage was fragmented across the world through waves of migration, largely destroyed in the Holocaust, and is nearly invisible today, neglected and marginalized both in public discourse and historical preservation efforts? This is the challenge we face with Belarusian Jewish heritage, and it was the starting point of our work. Founded in 2019, our center set out with a mission to preserve and raise awareness of the rich Belarusian Jewish culture and history, filling the absence of such a museum, and promoting a more comprehensive view of this heritage within national and global contexts. We managed to launch impactful international projects across diverse spaces and fields, making significant progress in developing a museum vision, while work in Belarus was still possible. However, after the 2020 political crisis, and with the growing military threat in the region from 2022, our team, like many Belarusians, found itself dispersed across different countries. This situation left us with even greater challenge. In the current conditions, in immigration, we had to find a new way forward, a solution that could transcend restrictions, reach people both in Belarus and globally, and connect them meaningfully with this heritage.
Before diving into the solution we developed, let me briefly explain why the focus on Belarusian Jewish history is so important. For centuries, Belarus was a multicultural land with over 60% of its urban population being Jewish. It was home to numerous shtetls, small towns where vibrant Jewish life thrived with a unique blend of languages, traditions, and communities. However, today, despite its deep impact on culture, history, and modern identity, this heritage is largely hidden. Remaining sites are mostly forgotten and neglected, while the history itself has been erased from public memory by a long-standing Soviet narrative that continues to these days. Moreover, Belarusian Jewish history is a vital part of global Jewish history, influencing many cultural, political, and social developments. Yet it remains understudied and overlooked for the same reasons.
So the absence of a Jewish museum in Belarus reflects deeper societal, geopolitical, and historical issues that traditional approaches alone can't address. This led us to rethink what a museum could and should be, viewing it primarily as a tool to confront these challenges. And rather than waiting for circumstances to change, we set out to create a solution that could exist under any conditions, offering a powerful, immersive connection to Belarusian Jewish history and heritage. Switching to digital and remote formats became our only way forward, but we aimed for more than a stopgap solution. With many objects inaccessible, scattered, or lost, the impossibility of a physical museum became both a challenge and an opportunity, a chance to move beyond traditional boundaries. Our vision was for something adaptive, multifunctional, and transformative, capable of integrating with physical spaces, educational programs, and cultural initiatives, while still being accessible to a broad audience. In developing the concept of our project, we are also adhering to our guiding principles, rethinking Jewish history of Belarus and exploring new ways to present this heritage, reaching beyond the Jewish community to broader audiences across contemporary society, engaging specialists from a variety of fields, leveraging cutting-edge technologies to increase accessibility and engagement, continuously adapting our project formats to ensure their relevance and effectiveness in the current context.
Now, let us show you what we're working on. The concept was developed in partnership with Professor Claire Lefol from the University of Southampton. This is work in progress. The solution takes shape as a digital platform with 4 evolving sections. The platform offers a customizable, multi-layered exploration of Belarusian Jewish history and culture tailored to different audiences. Based on principles of crowdsourcing, international collaboration, and interactive practices, it's designed to provide a secure, accessible space for uninterrupted work, serve as a central hub for reliable information, educational resources, and artistic projects, act as an effective tool for collecting and preserving Belarusian Jewish heritage on a global scale, and offer a dynamic experience using virtual reality, AI, and other technologies to make this heritage interactive and engaging.
In the process, the virtual museum solution has become more than a response to current restrictions. It has become a catalyst for creativity, forging new connections, supporting the development of social structures, and contributing to an international network committed to preserving Belarusian Jewish heritage. In the next part of this presentation, we'll walk you through the first completed section of our digital exhibition, showing just one example of what is possible in this space and how these principles have come to life. The first exhibition, which is currently developing for the platform launch, is dedicated to Belarusian shtetl and highlights 4 important synagogues, each representing different architectural styles, periods, and geocultural influences that reflect the diversity of Belarusian shtetls. Synagogues were the heart of every shtetl, where the spiritual, cultural, and social life of Jewish communities intervened. The exhibition includes the Volpa synagogue, which was destroyed, and the great synagogues of Slonim, Bychov, and Ashmiany, still standing today, though empty and abandoned. The project combines historical archival information, academic research, and classical restoration techniques with modern technologies and communication methods to preserve and promote this heritage in an accessible multimedia format.
The first released object is a digitally reconstructed Great Synagogue of Volpa. Built in the first half of the 18th century, for over 2 centuries it was a center of religious and social life for the local Jewish community and one of the most significant wooden synagogues in Eastern Europe. It is known for its stunning wooden architecture and intricate handcrafted decorations. However, during World War II, this unique building was completely destroyed by the forces of Nazi Germany. Fortunately, photographs, drawings, and the works of researchers from different generations have been preserved. The architecture, interior, paintings, and decorations have been meticulously recreated. Through virtual reality, you can now step back in time to visit the synagogue as if it were still standing. The result of our project heavily relies on the collaboration of multidisciplinary professionals and detailed, step-by-step work process. Our work team comprises historians, artist restorers, 3D modelers, IT developers, sound designers, and curators, each contributing their unique expertise to ensure the accuracy and authenticity of the virtual reconstruction. The work process for the team has become a real, exhilarating journey back in time. Have you ever dug through old family photos, finding unexpected gems that make history come alive? That's exactly what it felt for us. With each digital layer, we delve deeper into its vibrant history and architecture, breathing new life into the lost world of Jewish shtetls in Belarus. At the core of our work lies a strong academic research, archival materials, and expert insights. This approach isn't just a formality, it's what gives the project its soul. By entering our reconstruction in detailed, authentic research, we ensure that each element reflects the true spirit of the synagogue as it once was. We gathered materials from a variety of sources. This involved shifting through historical documents, photographs, blueprints, and text. Each discovery was like finding a missing piece of a grand puzzle, slowly revealing the lost synagogue. Our research uncovered a treasure trove of archival photos and materials that illustrated the synagogue's beauty. These images, though often faded and fragmented, revealed intricate details of the synagogue's architecture and interior design. While campaigning through the archives, we stumbled upon a rare photo with unexpected Hebrew inscription at the synagogue entrance. Its existence was previously unknown, despite the synagogue being studied by generations of historians. However, the inscription had a very down-to-earth message. It is forbidden to urinate on the synagogue. Actually, reconstructing these elements digitally posed significant challenges. We had to piece together incomplete documents and interpret materials, often relying on expert consultations. We collaborated with prominent historians and experts in Jewish heritage. Dr. Vladimir Levin, director of the Center for Jewish Art at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, and Dr. Sergei Kravtsov, who were guiding our research and verified visual accuracy and historical authenticity of our reconstruction. During our research, we also discovered that the synagogue underwent significant renovations in the 1920s, which transformed its interior. To capture this evolution, we decided to create two versions of the interior, one before and one after the renovation, allowing users to experience firsthand how the space changed over time. The next stage in our work after research involved our 3D modelers, who translated the historical data into the digital realm. Using advanced 3D modeling software, they recreated the synagogue's exterior and interior. We literally built the structure layer by layer. Simultaneously, our artists and restoration experts, led by Igor Knish from the Bastalia Art Workshop, worked on restoring the original paintings and textures. However, the heart of their work lay in the meticulous hand-painting process. Each painting in the synagogue was carefully recreated by hand. These artworks were then digitalized and transferred in the 3D environment. This handcrafted approach allowed us to achieve an exceptional level of visual realism. Our reconstructions stand out from typical digital projects due to the use of classic techniques in painting. These go beyond simple digital replication. It represents a more artistic and authentic approach, bringing a level of depth and craftsmanship that purely digital methods cannot achieve. A particular challenge was in reproducing the paintings in their naive style. Often, Eastern European synagogues in poorer Jewish communities were decorated by non-professional artists. This gave the paintings a uniquely lively quality that is both charming and historically significant. Capturing this essence required a deep understanding of the artistic techniques and ability to replicate the simplicity that characterized these works. Once the 3D model and textures were completed, the VR engineers started developing our custom VR program to create an immersive experience in virtual reality. We've created two modes of the virtual tour, the free tour and the guided tour. Free tour allows users to navigate the virtual synagogue at their own pace, exploring its architecture and artworks independently. In guided tour, users follow a settled path guided by a narration of multilingual audio guide. This mode includes detailed explanations of the historical and cultural significance of various elements in the synagogue. To enhance the immersive experience, we developed special sound design and interactive features. You can zoom in and examine every fresco and architectural detail using the magnifying glass. You can switch between the pre- and post-renovation interiors. You can also see the current site of the synagogue with 360-degree view to plunge into the place where the great synagogue once stood. This adds a profound emotional impact. After World War II, a memorial park was created there, with a monument erected in honor of the natives of Walpa who perished during the war. And there is no a single word about the synagogue. We didn't stop there. Parallel to the VR development, we adapted the experience for web platforms. This adaptation made the virtual tour accessible for users without VR headsets. Additionally, a standalone VR application was developed. Our VR app has become the first ever piece of Belarusian heritage, as well as the first reconstructed synagogue on MetaStore.
As our work on virtual reconstruction progressed, we realized the project was going beyond our expectations, offering new and valuable insights and opportunities. When we think about cultural heritage, it's not just about physical or virtual objects. Equally important is understanding the meaning of this heritage today and asking who should take care of it. These synagogues are more than buildings. They are also reflections of pre-existing systems and relationships. Once central to a thriving cultural structure, these synagogues are now a legacy without heirs, hardly recognized by modern Belarusian society as part of its own history. The process of creating digital restorations was incredibly inspiring for the entire team. Artists and restorers from the Bastalia Workshop immersed us in synagogue architecture, Belarusian folklore, and even the Yiddish language, deepen our connection to this heritage. For Belarusian companies specializing in VR technology, often focused on fictional worlds and game characters, recreating an authentic historical building was a real discovery. One of the technical leads shared that the experience impacted everyone in the company, fostering a new sense of belonging to the preservation of their heritage. By involving new contributors and bringing them together to address a shared challenge, this project has fostered a new community around this heritage that values, understands, and commits to preserving it. In this way, Our digital exhibition project treats heritage as not only physical objects or places, but as their inner meaning, connecting it to contemporary life. Through these experimental creative practices, heritage is not only preserved, but becomes embedded in public memory and relevant today. In 2025, the digital reconstruction of the Great Volpa Synagogue will be featured in the Museum of Jewish Art and History in Paris, displayed alongside a wooden model of the synagogue created by Ort students in 1940s for the museum opening. Partnering with MAJ and with support of the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the influence of the project has expanded, connecting Belarusian Jewish heritage with global Jewish history and helping raise it from obscurity to its rightful place in world cultural narrative. This project has shown us the profound impact of virtual reconstruction, not only as means of preserving heritage, but as a transformative practice. This project became a way of new community building who recognize Jewish history as part of Belarus identity and take responsibility for preserving it. Ultimately, this project isn't only about digital exhibitions. It's a creative way of repairing the world.
In the coming 2 years, we plan to expand the digital platform with additional exhibitions and collections. We are already working on the VR reconstruction of the Ashmani synagogue, with Slonim and Bychov synagogues to follow. Taking incremental steps with each new project help us maintain media presence, manage risks, and stay committed to documenting, preserving, and sharing this heritage.
We invite you to support us in this work. We're excited to bring these VR reconstructions to new audiences and institutions around the world. If you are interested in partnership opportunities, collaborations, or hosting part of our project, please reach out to us. Thank you.